that you are also with, professionals rather than just, let's say, enthusiasts or people who is a little bit, not in the.
It's a BlockTalk radio. BlockTalk.
Once again,
All right.
so
So
let's just
let's
start.
start.
And I guess we should start if
Welcome to
you're ready.
BlockTalk,
I'm
the
ready.
podcast that explores the world of blockchain technology
All right,
and its
thank you
ethical
so much, Barry.
possibilities. Today, we are
All right,
honored
everyone,
to
welcome.
have in a second.
Okay.
Um. Okay, we're all set. All right. Welcome to another episode of BlockTalk, the podcast that brings to you insights and perspectives from the world of blockchain, technology, crypto, and Web3. Today, we're excited to have with us the admission officer from the European Tech School, the leading online school for blockchain technology or blockchain education. Hi, and it's good to have you. The school is, I think the school is dedicated to educating, supporting, and empowering the blockchain community around the globe through its cutting edge curriculum, right? Personalized feedback, coaching, curated readings, and a final project. So, we're going to
Okay.
be discussing the school's mission, curriculum, teaching methodologies, school body, and alumni success stories. So, without further ado, let's get started. Let's get to meet you and tell us a bit about yourself, a special guest in the house, and your name, and tell us about your journey to becoming the admission officer for European Tech School.
Well, first and foremost, thank you so much, Barry, to having me with you here today at this podcast. Um, so yeah, as you were saying, I'm part of the admissions team at the European Tech School, and the story that led me to be part of the school
Yeah.
is basically I've been working within the education field for some few years now, and before working for the tech school I was working for a regular business school. And the reality is that I also did my studies with them. I coursed my masters and so on and so forth, and I did a
Um.
small specialization that was about startups and smart money. So smart money basically was the blockchain technology, and I was fascinated because I got to learn everything in a holistic also like perspective, without being attached to what I was knowing or what I was hearing, which is crypto, because everybody talks about
Okay.
crypto, blockchain, crypto, which
Yeah.
later on learn
Yeah.
that blockchain is not only crypto.
Yeah.
So I was thinking, okay, we can't deny that this new technology, I mean pretty new, is going to be part of our lives. So unless you want to live, under the rocks in a cave, you gotta do something to keep yourself posted. And
Sure.
why not to help the people that wants to gain that knowledge, or to the ones that want to gain that expertise, to connect them with the environment. So that's why I found this opportunity at the European Tech School, and yeah, I'm with them for approximately 6 months now, and I couldn't
Okay.
be happier. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much. We didn't get your name. I guess you should tell the audience. What
Okay,
is
yeah,
that? Your
sure.
name?
So my name is Svetlana, which
Okay.
is a very I don't know, Eastern European name. We
Okay.
are based in Spain. I
Okay.
am based in Spain. We are in Barcelona, which I mean also is a very tech hub city within the,
Okay.
let's say, European market.
Mm-hmm.
And but I was born in Russia. But yeah, I grew up here.
All right. Thank you so much, Elena. Um, let's go to our first question of the day, which is uh, we can you tell us a bit about the European Tech School and what sets it apart from other blockchain schools?
Well, that's a great question. The reality is that here, what I want to, give a heads up to everybody who, let's say, is looking for an education within, blockchain or any kind of education, actually, is to really learn that most of the educational projects are also companies. Okay, so I know that it's a little bit harsh to give this reality, because I think that a lot of people think that education is something that it's granted, that it needs to be provided and it's for free and so on and so forth. But the reality is that behind any project there's always some sort of investment. So education is nothing different from that. With that being said, there is a lot of educational offer as we speak. But related to your question, what set us apart, I would say that basically two things. So the first one is that we are providing the classes in a live stream way, which means that you have the possibility to connect with active working professionals within the field. This is super important because anybody right now can call themselves active working professionals and that they have this X or Y experience. But actually, if you start analyzing their background, you will realize that they are not as good as they say they are, So we count with professionals that they've been working within the field for some few years now, and that they work for really big, top relevant companies within the field. So that is one thing. So you learn from the experience. It's not actually that much academical. It's more about learning from the experience, the expertise of actively working professionals within the field. And the second thing is that I would say that sets us apart is that, besides that being the fact that it's like the closest experience that you can get from being in a class, the second thing I would say that is the classroom that we form. So we also count with active working professionals within the class. Most of the times the profiles tend to be something like 30-35 plus, meaning that these professionals, they've been working for some 10 years averagely, within different fields. Most of the times, it's like something related to finance, something related to consulting, but we also have a bunch of, technical engineers. So, being in a class surrounded and knowing that you are also with, professionals rather than just, let's say, enthusiasts or people who is a little bit, not in the, workforce, radar somehow. It's very enhancing. So you have like this, let's say, two parts that enhances your knowledge: the professors and the colleagues that are your classmates, basically.
Whoa. Thank you so much. And that's super amazing. I like the part where you spoke about what makes you quite unique or different or stand out from other blockchain educational platforms out there or schools out there. You said you learn from experience, like that's to say, any student that is part of your school will learn from experienced tutors that have been in the game for like say 10 years. That's I think for me, that's actually the best way to learning from experience, not just the book, the reading and all that, being active. So thank you so much for that input from you. And let's go to the next question, which is what kind of courses and programs does your school offer?
Well, we pretty much have only two programs. It's simple. One program is more meant for you to understand the holistic, let's say, perspective of the technology plus its business applications. The second course has the perspective of learning these two, let's say, views, and also a little bit of development, which tends to be the technical part. So it's even more thorough. More challenging because, of course, you start learning some, tools, and you start seeing some coding, and not gonna lie, it's a little bit like intimidating, especially for the profiles that they didn't have any technical background. But in either case, it's, you know, beneficial as well. But yeah, these are our main courses, so it's pretty simple. Like, we don't want to make the things complicated. Sometimes when you start complicating things, like, it doesn't really work out. And yeah, I mean, we had a great results by now, so yeah.
Thank you so much. And the next question is, can you talk a bit about the curriculum and the teaching methodologies that the school uses to educate students in blockchain and crypto? What are
So
your
the
methods?
curriculum
Yeah,
the curriculum is basically, as I was telling you, like in the first course,
yeah,
we dig into the technology. We see, you know, blockchain, we see Bitcoin, we see Ethereum, and from there we start also overviewing other blockchains, the technical aspects of it, you know, and from there business applications, decentralized finance, NFT, creator economy. We also review, you know, the health, the supply. So it's basically business application. And in the part that is more technical, from there, I mean, we start seeing like the coding aspects, right? So we start, I don't know, digging into Solidity, we start digging into Ethereum,
okay,
JavaScript, I don't know,
yeah.
like MetaMask, Git, other tools. So it's a little bit more technical. But in any case, anybody who is interested, I mean, they can reach me out. I would be more than happy to provide them more info, or they can just check on the website, because yeah, it's pretty much well explained on there. And the methodology is, you know, it's very practical. So again, it's not like a academical school. We're not, you know, kids that we're going to a school and somebody needs to put you a mark and say you, hey, you are doing the things amazingly. No, you're here to learn. You're here to put, you know, or to give the utmost of you, not for the sake of proving something, but you know, to your personal, you know, desire, or your personal, you know, achievement. So the methodology is, I would say it's similar to any academia, but without being that much academical. For instance, we don't emphasize on, you know, having exams. I always felt that like so unuseful, you know, like an exam, you just study something the last day and then you just vomit it in a piece of paper. Like it's not too much useful. So it's more about, you know, in some let's say subjects, the professors are going to be bringing up some projects that you need to be delivering also in the class with the different classmates. So what I really think it's cool is that because we're going to be doing a bunch of these, you know, projects, you have the possibility to be in one group and meet these, you know, different profiles, and then in another group and you meet different profiles, and we tend to mix them up, meaning that, for instance, if you are an engineer and in that group you also have another engineer, I mean, that is a little bit lame, that is boring. So we will try to put you with somebody, I don't know, who has a more of a thorough marketing business perspective. So, you know, you kind of simulate the different departments of a company, right? Which is pretty cool. And when I did my projects, yeah, I mean, that's the way we work on them. And yeah, it was very satisfying, to be honest. And then you have a final project, as you said. So yeah.
Thank you so much, Lana. Can I call you Lana?
Yeah, Lana. Actually, a lot of people calls me Lana.
All right, thank you so much, Lana. I want to ask the next question, which is can you talk about let's say can you tell us about how does the school support a student, right, in terms of career development and job placement? Now I'm done with your school and basically I'm there to learn and get a bigger get deeper into the blockchain space, and finally I graduate, I'm done. What next? I probably need a job, or from my experience. So from this angle, how does your school, in terms of career development and job placement,
Hmm.
support the students?
Well, that is a great question, and it's one of the most frequently asked questions, because the reality is that one of the biggest intentions for anybody on investing, on such course program, whatever, is to have some results, right?
Yeah.
You just don't do the things just for the sake of doing them.
Mm-hmm.
So that starts from, honestly speaking, it starts from your your inner consciousness. So I would love to say that we have a career advisory and stuff like that, but the reality is that no, actually, in any school, the career advisors, my experience is that they are not like really there for you. So unless it's you that is there for you, like that is what it gets you far. But as we are very well connected, not just from the school perspective, but from the blockchain convention that we are part of, we are very close to big players, big people, and so on and so forth. I would say that here you gotta be strategic. If you are in the classes and you have the possibility to be in a class in where your professor works for one of the biggest blockchain consortiums that is out there in the market, like, don't be dumb, don't be silly, be strategic, ask them questions, be out there, use all the resources that that person can bring you, but not just for the sake of, hey, I'm a student of ETS or I'm a student of XYZ. It applies everywhere. Be there, strive to show that actually you can be a good fit in whatever role that you will be interested in, starting from the classes. If you don't do that, if you are not perceived as somebody who has potential, who has attitude, who has knowledge, or a combination of all of them all, there's no career advisor that will be useful for you. That is the reality. Like it all starts from the way you approach things. So long story short, we have the environment, we have the connections, but we need you to also work out on that. And in our experience, I mean, any profile that has been interested on doing a change or a switch on their path, they ended up achieving that, which is pretty cool. So long story short, it's not that we have this career advisory that takes your hand and guides you, to every step. However, it's on our radar, and that is one of the things that I would love to also implement or help out with. It's not out there, so it's a little bit more, let's say, in an old-fashioned way, let's put it this way, how things were all the in all the in all the life before these fancy things of advisory and so on and so forth. But the cool thing also is that when I do the session with every candidate who is potentially interested on joining, what I want to learn is, what are your goals? What do you want to achieve by coursing this course? Where do you see yourself? How this course can impact you? Because that is the only way we can have you also in our radar. And when we have you on our radar, when you are within our radar, we will be there for you. So let's put it this way, that this is how it works.
Wow, perfectly said. I would say your school has a genuine interest in every student. Like you wanting to know what are the person's goals before even taking the course is super important.
Definitely.
That's actually a whole lot, because most schools out there don't even do that. All right. Now, what kind of students attend your school, and what are the prerequisites for admission?
Okay, so that's a great question as well. I noticed that The profile tends to be more experienced. Yeah, I would say that it's overall, let's say that 85% of the talents are executives already. I mean, or
Okay.
closer to what we can understand as an executive profile. Yeah, there are these, profiles that they've been working for, I don't know, for some few years in XYZ companies, for XYZ projects, and so on and so forth. The reasons why they want to do this course is various. Actually, not everybody wants to do a switch. Not everybody wants to start a company. It's not actually also like the finality. No, it also tends to happen that in a lot of the work or projects that, for instance, consultants work in, they realize that in order to understand better how to consult, XYZ company that is working currently with the technology, they're a little bit out of the blue. They're not as knowledgeable. So it's